Sugar Ray Leonard versus Jaron Boots going out to Peter Garcia. I thank you for this request. But before we get into the fight, I just want to ask the usual, that you would hit the like button, that you would share, hit the bell notifications, and as I always say, if you're watching, you might as well subscribe. So let's get into it. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Ennis Boots. Before I get started, no nostalgia. I don't base my opinions on legendary status or how long ago a fighter has fought. Sometimes I make reference to the era that they fought in. But at the end of the day, styles makes fights. So that's always my premise. Styles makes fights. But I like this fight a lot because I like high-speed chess match type of fights, to where both guys have excellent speed, great reflexes, good defense, upper body movement, head movement, footwork. I mean, these makes for exciting fights. And this fight would be just that, exciting. We know that Sugar Ray Leonard is the more proven of the two because we can look back in hindsight at him. And Jaron Ennis Boots is still in the middle of his career. And so, of course, it's easier to look back at the guys who are more accomplished and whose careers are finished. And a lot of the time, we won't appreciate them fully until about 10, 20 years later. So that's the case here. But just pretend for a second, use your imagination, pretend for a second that they both fought in the same era, or that Sugar Ray Leonard is a current fighter right now. Just try it. And so let's start off with Jaron Ennis Boots. I see shades of Roy Jones Jr. He has the same type of reflexes, similar styles. He's a showman, a great counterpuncher, knows how to move that head, knows how to roll the punches, and has great athleticism. And so I see a bright future for him, to tell you the truth, and I just can't wait until he gets that opportunity. I wish that he would at least fight Virgil Ortiz. I think that fight would really prove or bring out the best in him. I mean, I'm sure that Ennis Boots would win the fight. I'm sure that he would beat Ortiz, but I think that Ortiz would be the perfect test for him right now. And so there you have it for Jaron Ennis Boots. And of course, Sugar Ray Leonard needs no introduction. A brilliant fighter, great footwork. And I call Sugar Ray Leonard a middleweight Muhammad Ali, welterweight, junior middleweight, whatever. You know, he's just a little Ali to me. With the shuffle, with the quickness, with the jab, combinations, hand speed, head movement, just the total package. And what I liked about Sugar Ray Leonard is his ability to adjust. That's very important. And the best fighters in the history of boxing made adjustments. They did. And so Sugar Ray Leonard's style is patterned after Muhammad Ali's. At least that's the way that I see it. And I always think back to Ray Leonard's first fight with Tommy Hearns. And what I liked about that fight is we saw two Sugar Ray Leonards in the same fight. We saw the elusive stick and move fighter in the first half of the fight. And then in the second half of the fight, we saw him become a stalker and pressure Tommy Hearns. And another thing about Sugar Ray Leonard, a great finisher. Once he has you in trouble, that's it. So I don't think that this would be a easy fight for either guy, to tell you the truth. Sugar Ray Leonard definitely fought in an era to where you had to fight often. There was no getting by with fighting once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, well, maybe 3 times a year. But You had to fight more than once or twice a year. You really did. So I believe fighters today, and I've seen it over and over, suffering from ring rust due to inactivity. And so you have to stay active. And so I believe that Sugar Ray Leonard, even if he was fighting today, he would be a lot more active than most fighters. And definitely more active than Boots. And so Boots has to get active. He has to get active. Start fighting at least 3 times at this point in your career. I think you would get more exposure, more notoriety, and just fans would respect you more. You have to stay in front of the public. And so that's my inactivity soapbox. I could go on and on. But as far as who would win this fight, let's get to that. And I'm having difficulty with this one because both guys are extremely athletic. As I mentioned, the upper body movement, the head movement. So in terms of style and ability, I would say that they're even. I really would. But I do feel that Sugar Ray Leonard may be the tougher of the two. I'm just saying. And that Ray could possibly have the mental edge going into this fight. There will be a lot of showboating from both guys in this fight, but I think that Sugar Ray Leonard was better at it, to tell you the truth. But where I think Sugar Ray Leonard would have the edge and the advantage is the stamina, having that 15-round experience. And also the fact that Sugar Ray Leonard faced more adversity in the ring and he's been more tested. Boots hasn't faced much adversity. So I always look at not only how good fighters look in a fight, but how they overcome adversity. That's extremely important. Now, both guys throws good combinations, but I think Sugar Ray Leonard throws better combinations because Boots Ennis is more of a counterpuncher, and he depends more on his reflexes like Roy Jones Jr. So I see this fight as being pretty even until we get into the later rounds. And a lot of times that's when Sugar Ray Leonard comes alive and drowns his opponents in those deep waters. So based on my knowledge of each fighter, I'm going to have to go with Sugar Ray Leonard by late stoppage in this one. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.